Lloyd Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. Good afternoon. Today is the 17th of September and this is Sandown Airport on the Isle of Wight. As you can see, very much still an active airport. There's Big Nelly there. I suppose a little Nelly, yeah, that was used in New and Live Twice. There we go, there's the air traffic control, or I don't know what you call the grand staff just guiding that plane in, but we're not here to see planes. We're here for the Isle of Wight mini adventure with West Country Minis. This is part two. I suppose you could call this for part one of the Slightly Shambolic Shuffle, because we've got an awful lot of minis to cover. Start off with this Cooper S. I think this is an R50 or R53. I always get really confused between the R50s and R53s, so we're going to have to move on. This is the car that I'm using this weekend. Some of you would have seen this in part one of the mini adventure where I took it for a drive last night, which was a lot of fun, although I made some sort of mistakes. It was a 1990 Mini Studio 2, but it's not one of those now. By contrast, this 81 to 82 car looks more modern than it actually is. I mean, this one looks older than 1990. This one looks older than the early 80s. We've got things like a much later interior in here, and colour-coded mirrors, and different wheels, and different backlights, and all sorts of things. The IMM, yes, the International Mini Meeting. This one, I suppose, Minky, it's got a K-Series engine in it, 77-78 registration. What you'll see a lot of at this show, apart from different steering wheels being put on cars in rare, is that we've got mini-light alloys everywhere. Front end's slightly different from what it would have been. I don't know what exactly capacity it is, but my gosh, that's a tight fit. That's crazy. Saw this one actually last night. 87-88 Mini, again, mini light on mini light style alloys. Same rear light as the other one. Don't know what would have started life as, to be honest. Again, the steering wheel's been changed in this one. Oh, Innocenti Mini 1001. Oh, viewers. Excellent. Look at this, a very, very posh looking Italian made version of the Mini. I think this is probably from the late 60s, early 70s. Actually got quarter lights on here as well, which I don't think Mini's ever got in this country. But it's after 69, I think, because of those doors are sort of the ones that we know more, rather than the earlier ones with the exposed hinges. It's got the later style door handles. Contrast of this much earlier Mini here, we're on pre-suffix plates here, so this one says it's in 1960. If it's not in 7, it certainly will be. Look at that, no door locks, sliding windows, exposed door hinges, and it's actually a 7, so it's a very, very early one indeed. So yeah, 59, 60, something like that. Ooh, a Riley Elf Mark III, 1967. Now that is very, very nice. The Elves and the Hornet actually got the later style door handles and doors with the winding windows a little bit earlier than the Minis. We've still got the classic car screen off thing, which actually found its way into Morris Minor dashboard like this. Beautiful kind of sort of wood veneer, and much nicer seats and all sorts of things. I really like the Hornet and the Elf. Wonder how many more of those we're going to see today. This car we actually have already seen. This was actually at the Fuel Power party last weekend. It's a yeah, 7980 Mini City. Actually no, sorry, I'm not right. We've seen this car before somewhere, not at the Fuel Power party. That was a different one, but it's maybe a similar colour to this. I've seen this at shows somewhere before. I think the last time I saw this was probably at at Retro Rides Weekend or something like that. We can see a little friend there is enjoying himself. There's some brochures of the city. But this is, unlike many cars here, this is like ultra correct. This is how they would have sort of come out of the factory in the late 70s. Mini 1275 GT looks a bit like a Clubman. Gosh, it's got the actual proper alloy wheels on it as well. Sort of beige and much fun. 74, 75 registration. R50 Mini here, I think. As I said, I get really confused in the R50s and the R53s. I should know by now which ones they are, but I don't. The modern Clubman, I tend to not talk about these too much because they have Prince engines and a certain type of forbidden fuel engine, and we don't talk about diesels on this channel, I'm afraid, viewers. Likewise, this one, same sort of deal. The R56s, R57s I don't tend to talk about because the Mayor of London, particularly with the diesel variants, says I can't talk about them. And I'm afraid a Prince engine is not very reliable, viewers, so I cannot recommend it. It's my experience as an independent vehicle consultant there. Mini Sprite Special 83 to 84. Is this a real model? I presume it was. Again, someone's put some very nice alloy wheels. Are those Dunlop De Novo style ones? Very highly modified 2003 Mini here. Hello to Mini Addict 84 on Instagram. I suppose this was a Cooper S at some stage. I don't know sort of what it is now. 1998 Mini Cooper. So Mark 7 with the airbag. Seats are very peculiar. Don't know why that fabric pattern's like that. Right, this is really weird. It's a 66 plate, but the car is much newer than that. Early 90s, I'd say this actually is, judging by that badge. Don't know what specification that is, to be honest. Oh, another really early Austin 7 Mini. So this would be before 1961. Just the simplicity of these, the sort of part vinyl seats and the dip switches down on the floor in these. These are worth a lot of money now, these really early ones. Awful lot of money. Oh, a local plate to where I'm from, TR. 1984 Mini automatic. I don't think I've seen many Mini automatics, to be honest. That's really original as well. Fantastic. Even got a little bulldog in there too. Thank you. Hello to VW08 on Instagram. Gosh, that's been modified, isn't it? Ooh, right up to the minute. It's current generation of the Mini, which I think is the A50, F55 or F56, I can't remember actually now. Mini 1499 GT, which of course is supposed to ape the 1275, but this is a 2007 to 2008. I think Mr. Miller from Classics World used to actually have one of these as a company car. So another Mark 6 Mini here, early 90s. I don't know what specification it is. That interior looks special, but I don't. This isn't a Cooper or anything. I actually don't know what that is. That's going to be a phrase that I'll be using a lot today, viewers. Ooh, 1990, 1991 Mini Checkmate. Surprised the seats don't have like more of a kind of chest pattern on them or something. But again, we've got these sort of Mini Light style alloy wheels on this. I think. Is this the R52 or R54? I can't remember the type number for the first cabrios. (1988 to 89). Very sort of jazzy seats in there, sort of fabric there. Again, a lot of these cars have been repainted, so I haven't got a clue, I'm afraid. Ooh, a Mini 35. I've not seen too many of these. These would have been made in 1994. Just before the Mark 7 came into production, actually. So this is a Mark 6. Just in colour. Another one of these first generation BMW Mini Cooper S's. Oh, a really, really late classic Mini on a 51 plate. I think that's the latest you can get them. Now, production finished in 2000, so we are kind of sort of after in the production. We're actually maybe a year after production ended with this, but very nice. It's a sport. Interesting kind of two-tone leather in this. They sort of struggled to actually get rid of the last ones of these. I think yes, it is a Cooper Sport, so it's one of the last ones. I think there was another special edition as well that I forget the name of now. Ooh, a Downton Mini Minor. I thought Mini Minor was only used right at the start, so that badge is maybe not exactly correct. This is a very early Mark III, I think, from what I can see, but the tail lights remind me more of a Mark II or something. The rear wiper was actually possible to get. It was a very rare option, sort of dealer fit things. This is a sort of combination of kind of various years, isn't it? So yeah, 6970 should be an early Mark III. 90s Cooper airbag wheels, so Mark 7 Mini. Look at all these adventures it's been on. Crazy. Mini 1000, 78. Again with some interesting sort of alloy wheels. Very sort of early Cooper-esque like, isn't it? Look at this view. Wow, that's beautiful. 1986 to 7 Mini City. Those are the correct words. Look at this incredibly basic interior. No headrest or anything like that. Very nice. Ooh, Mini advertising garage actually on the Isle of Wight itself. This is a... wow, that's an early plate. No door locks. The thing is with these minivans, they kind of continued like this until 1982. They didn't update the body shell. So actually this it's probably both in the sort of... that is amazing. Look at all these bits in here. Fantastic. This is another early Austin 7. It's got the chromed grills. This might be a deluxe. It is an Austin 7 as well. Crazy, but why so many in this colour? Another Cooper Sport here, 2000. Look at all those extra gauges you got and all this sort of interesting stuff on there. They even put the stereo in the middle of the dash where it should be. 75, 76. It's not a Cooper, by the way. It's just I don't know, just a bog standard one probably. Although it's been much modified. Oh, that's an auto. Wow. Yeah, auto minis are quite rare. Mini sidewalk. So yeah, 95 only, right at the end of the Mark VI production. Ooh, 1966. Austin Mini Cooper S. Look at this. Ooh, that's a lovely interior. That's pretty special, that view is. Again, another one of these really late Coopers on a 2000 plate. Is that the standard gear knob and seat? I don't know. Another one of these cities from 1980s. This actually has different seats in it from that. This is a 88, 89. This will have the servo on the brakes and also the larger discs in it, so it stops as well as it handles. Clubman Estate, quite a late one actually, 80 to 81. Someone's put an interior in here from, is that sort of 90s Mini interior or late 80s? Very nice. So it's Mark VI Sprite, 94, 95 registration. There's actually one of these that I've seen recently that is still on its original dealer plates from I think 1995 it was registered. Another Mini City, again the kind of sort of pastel type seats in this one, which is I think original, and the original wheels. Mrs. Beans, and hello to Sally the Mini on Instagram. Very late Mayfair. I think they made the Mayfair far later in mini form than any other type of Mayfair, sort of like the Maestro and the Montego and the Metro. Wooden dash, very nice. Mayfair I drove was an 89, this is going to be a 95, so right at the end of the Mark 6s. So you can see from this mini pickup here and the van, these are both very, very late ones. That is 7980, this one right at the end, 1982. You do sometimes find these on 83, but generally the Metro van actually replaced these eventually. Still though got the pressed steel grille, still got the house style door handles where they've got locks on them now, still got the sliding windows, still got the exposed hinges, and if we take a look at the back, we've got much older looking sort of rear lamps. But it's a commercial vehicle, you know, what do you expect? Someone's actually just kept the original steering wheel in there. That was fitted to the Minis in the late 70s and early 80s. 1997-98 Cooper. That's the interior actually of the Studio 2 that I'm driving this weekend. It's a Cooper S, but it's a Challenge 210 edition. I bet this one's very quick. Yes, that's a current generation one. I've driven one that's totally bonkers. It was a John Cooper Works GP2. That was massively fast. 1992-93. Those seats are interesting, aren't they? Sort of red Recaro with sort of tweed bits in them. Not sure about this one. I think we better skip that one, viewers. I think possibly this one as well, because we don't talk about these Prince engines. Ooh, another mini special. 1979 to 80. Gosh, this looks pretty good. I think these might even be the original wheels of this, you know. Look at that. Wow. I think that's a late Allegro steering wheel or something. Or Mini 1100. Gosh, I'd forgotten they actually made a Mini 1100. I think this is some sort of special edition, this one. I could be wrong. It's not a Cooper, that's for sure. Don't know. Gosh, this was a Mayfair. It's been customised a bit, like a lot of these have. That's extreme customisation there. Early Clubman estate here. Gosh, an automatic Clubman estate. That's got to be one very rare specification. I think that's probably a City 81, 82. Oh, another Mayfair. Yeah, rev counter must be. 91, 92 registration. Just a Mini 1000. 79, 80, although someone's changed those seats over for more comfortable ones. I think I've seen one of these 24-hour Le Mans current shape Minis before. Right, this will have to skip that one too. This very sort of Austin Powers though, this one. Did Austin Powers have a mini like this in one of the films? Viewers? Answers in the comment section below. Someone's got some really interesting headlamps on this one. Oh, hello to Fiona Ag and Peggy Pink _9070 on Instagram. So I presume that's a 1970 Mini. Well, yeah, that's actually looks right. Although those rear lamp units are from a later car. Yeah, I'll have to skip that one. That one too. What have we got here? 84, 85. I don't know what specification that is. Yeah, I have to move there. I'm afraid, yes, the Prince engine's just not. It's not my thing, I'm afraid. They tend to have quite a few problems. 1989 to 90. I think this would be a city or something, but who knows what it is now. Another Mayfair. I've seen so many Mayfairs in my life. 93, 94 registration. (2003) Mini Cooper S with a Tritec engine. Tritec was a weird thing. It was a sort of combination between BMW, Rover and Chrysler, and eventually the engine made it its way into Fiat because they bought the license for it. And so this is actually related to the engine that was in the Fiat Tipo from about 2015, but only I think the automatic model. It's very, very strange. Look at this. Stumpy. Someone's doing a bit of work to that one there. What's this one here? Interesting sort of light bar arrangement on this one. I don't know what one that is. Yeah, late Mark 6. No, not a Cooper S, just a replica. We'll Cooper Sport. So this will be, despite that plate, it's about 20 years older than the car. So Cooper Sports are right at the end, about 2000. '86, '87. I must keep away from these gorse bushes which keep spiking me. Your Mini Piccadilly. Oh yes, please, viewers. Look at those seats. Amazing. Just tons and tons and tons of special editions in the 1980s in particular. And yeah, again, more Mini-like style wheels, which look great on a lot of classic cars actually. Minis obviously the ones that they originated on. 1275 GT, could be a Clubman I suppose. Don't have a way to tell actually between the two. Maybe the flared arches are a sign, but this, what if I know it's just a Clubman actually, just actually say. So I just read the badge, shouldn't I, viewers? So yes, 70, 71, 72, 73, and that steering wheel looks very familiar because it's a very it's the same kind of one that was on the a lot of the minis that Rowan Atkinson used in Mr. Bean. Although that mini is slightly later, it's an R registration. 75, so sorry, 70, 74, 75 this one. Another Mini 1000. Mark 7 Cooper. 1996-7. I love the colour of this actually, that's very nice. Wooden dash of course. So that, oh, it's one of these really rare ones, isn't it? Yes, a Paceman. Oh, we can't talk about that, viewers. It's got a forbidden fuel engine. Nor can we talk about that one. We'll have to keep going on to this one. Tottenham Motor Factors. Bournemouth plate, but the actual physical number plate is from Tottenham Motor Factors in Southampton, not very far from where I am. I don't know what this is. Is this like a jet black or something? Answer in the comment section below. 88, 89, 89 only. Mini 30. Yes, I knew we'd see one of these here. But only this colour, but this is all the colours that they were. And look at those Goodman speakers sitting in the back on the parcel shelf. Clubman Estate, 79 to 80. I doubt this is the original colour, but it looks great. It's been to the Isle of Wight before, I see. 93 to 94. I don't know if this is a Cooper or not. It might not have started as that. I don't know what it is now. Something. 1989 to 90. Again, I don't think that's the Cooper interior for the year. I think they came out in 1990 to revive Cooper, although they've been available in Japan for a little bit before that. Ooh, a 1275 GT. It's a very late one. If so, they finished in 1980. That's a 79 to 80 plate. It's very nice. I think that's vermilion, that colour. Right, we've passed that one, I'm afraid, viewers. R50 Cooper. I've actually driven a wide registration R50 belonging to Mr. Richardson from Furious Driving on a No Budget Reviews a couple of years ago. I like the purity of this original R50, shaping of the R53s a bit later, aren't they? Yeah, another one of these. You can see the seats in there, so that leather was to be an option. It's Cooper Sport, but it's on an R registration. Maybe they'll up that as a personal plate then. I thought the Cooper Sports are only available right at the end. Oh gosh, I'm on a twin carb diet. So it's a badge off a Mini 30, and that's actually the correct badge for one of these, the correct age, but it's obviously been repainted and retrimmed a bit. 86, 87. Again, of course, of the obligatory Union Jack roof. Minis are one of the sort of most modifiable cars you can possibly imagine. You can just make it look older or newer or do whatever you want. It's because they had such a long production life of 41 years. I think we've seen this before somewhere. Maybe I saw this last night when I was going around. But yes, early 70s one, this. They did make the Cooper until 71, so is that a real Cooper? I don't know. Could be, I suppose. There's a Mark 7 Cooper for contrast. That looks pretty correct actually in terms of all the bits, although the gear knob I think is slightly different, but for one that's made in 97-98 that looks remarkably original. And it's got a Birmingham plate on it. That might have been owned by the Rover Group themselves. 85 to 86 Mini here. I think the wheels are possibly not the right ones, but it says for Chelsea. Possibly, yes, maybe there was a Chelsea special edition, I don't know, but there were so many of them. So this is a Cooper. This will be a very, very early one. This will be 1990 only, if that's actually a genuine Cooper. My gosh, another Mini 30. How many of these are there going to be here? They didn't make tons of them. Wow, it's a third one. Crazy. 1995, 1996 Mini Cooper. Actually no, it's only a 95 because that steering wheel and the steering column is from the Mark 6, so it's got to be 95 only then. Oh, this is sort of interesting. That's the same colour as one that Mr. Bean has in most of the series. Although it's a slightly later one. This is 80 to 81. It's got a plate from wooden picket. It's crazy. So 85, 86 registration, although this car's been modified to look older. It's modified to take these older rear lamps, older bumper, so the doors and things are the same. Front end will be different as well, so it's sort of makes it look like a 60s Cooper. Another one of these Clubman estates, although it's definitely not got an A series in it anymore. Look at that. That looks like one of those Volkswagen Audi 1.8 engines. I might be wrong about that. Ooh, sends hello to Mini Club Bam on Instagram. Right, I think that's it for this part. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more mini adventure.